With The Boys Season 5 coming out soon and The Boys coming to an end, but not a close to the universe, we got leaks of what the episodes might mean. So I just want to go over the titles and basically explain what I think they'll mean. So episode 1 of Season 5 is titled 15 Inches of Sheer Dynamite. Now what would this mean? I have no clue, but knowing The Boys and how crazy the show is, it's probably going to do something with killing somebody, and it's probably going to get something with just blowing up. Are we going to be in the deep dive of Butcher and what he went to after the ending Season 4? Probably, but I honestly expect Season 5 to be the first half of just Butcher hunting down Soups, basically trying to get the band back together and just seeing what he can do with the remaining virus he has left. Now, episode 2 is titled Teenage Kicks. I think this is going to be a A-Train heavy episode, and basically him and Sister Sage, just their parallels comparison, because we did learn from A-Train that Sister Sage was a part of Teenage Kicks with him. So I think not only is it going to be just a Teenage Kicks just related episode with Sister Sage and A-Train and just how they compare to each other and these like sides of the war they're in, but I feel like we're just going to get a little more espionage on what the Teenage Kicks were about and who they were, and maybe just like more members and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get a Mr. Marathon cameo, finally get his face, who knows, because we do know Mr. Marathon is a character in the show. Episode 3 is titled Every One of You Sons of Bitches. Now, I think this episode is going to be basically where Huey, Frenchie, Kimiko, and Mother's Milk ended up, and basically how we gotta break, how like Butcher is going to try to break them out, or Starlight's going to try to break them out. So that will be a very interesting episode. I think we're going to deep dive on basically the Boys members and how they got captured, where they're locked up and stuff like that. That's going to be cool to see. I can't wait for that. Episode 4 is titled Did the Heavens Fall? Now, I think this one's going to be eccentric of Homelander, basically, and how he wants to plot, or how he's like, his reign is going to continue to grow throughout the show and the world that we're in with the Boys. So I think this one's going to be a Homelander heavy episode, and basically how his reign is really, we're going to see truly how his reign is grasping upon the world, and how his just rise as Soups controlling the world is going to come to be. So that's going to be cool. Episode 5 is titled One Shots. Now, I think this one is where we really get the major kill. I feel like, I speculate that this season we're going to kill more characters than we ever saw for before. So, episode 5 being titled One Shots, I think this one is going to be like a major death. Now, is it going to be the Deep, A-Train, Firecracker? Who knows? But I do truly think that this episode is going to be like a major what the heck kind of kill. Like somebody major is getting killed off. That really shows the just premise of this. Because according to some leaks, I've been told that episodes 1 through 5 will drop, and then we're going to wait a while, and then 6, 7, and 8 are going to drop. Who knows how they're going to plan it out? I have no clue, but I do think episode 5 is a major kill. And I heard too that in episode 5, Jared Padalecki's character will be introduced into the show, so that's interesting to see as well. So I think he drops episode 5. So yeah, I think somebody major is going to get killed, but you know what? Only time will tell. Episode 6 is called King of Hell. Now again, I think this is a very Homelander-esque episode where we basically see his reign and see how it's grasping upon the world. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to see as well. So I truly think episode 6 is going to be like the start and just reign of Homelander and just how he's going to start taking over the world. Like I think if we're going according to the comics, which we're kind of going that route, but not really the comics, he's going to start taking over America and then spreading across the country, because we got promo pics of Jace basically Homelander in different spots of the world in different monuments. So yeah, I think episode 6 is going to be the Homelander-esque taking over the world arc kind of thing. Now, episode 7 is the most shocking when it comes to just basically speculation. Episode 7 is titled The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk. Now, I hope it's not following the comic route where basically spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Nearing end of The Boys, Butcher, after he kills Homelander and the Soups, he starts killing off all Soups as well. He wants to rid the world of Soups. And in the comics, Frenchie, Kimiko, and Mother's Milk were Soups as well. The entire Boys team was Soups. They pumped themselves a compound V to even playing fields a long time ago. So, with the episode 7 being called The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk, I sadly think that they will be taking some aspects of the comics and having Butcher kill the Boys members. Now, is that going to mean that in the season, the Boys team are finally going to take Compound V like Huey and Butcher did in season 3? I have no clue. But I did speculate that finally Mother's Milk and Frenchie are just going to say, what the hell, it needs to stop, and they're finally going to take some temp V to get powers. You know, who knows who. But with episode 7 being titled "The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Their Mother's Milk," I do fear that some aspects of the comics will be integrated into the show, killing off those three characters. Now, I hope not? Probably. Do I hope for a good ending? Probably. Yes, I do. But this is The Boys we're talking about. The Boys is notorious for having fucked up episodes and fucked up shit going on. So if that means these three characters will sadly be getting killed, buckle up, y'all. With the final episode of the series being titled Blood and Bone. Now, this exact quote was taken from the conversation between Homelander and Butcher in season 3 when they had their discussion, and he said blood and bone. Now, is this going to be the final showdown? I have no clue. But it being titled Blood and Bone, I think this will be just a very cinematic end to the show that it deserves, and I honestly can't wait. So, with all the show titles being leaked or released in some format, what do you guys think of the show? What do you think it has planned for us in store? I'm excited. I can't wait for the final season. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's one of my favorite shows ever, honestly. And I just can't wait. I can't wait, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what The Boys has in store for us. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that jazz, and until next time, y'all.